Injury to Goran Lozanovsky means that veteran John Anastasiadis will play on the right flank. South start as hot favourites and should have too much class in midfield and up front with Michael Kursija and Paul Trimboli. Looking to overcome their first round loss, the Melbourne Knights have made just one change, a forced one. Young defender Draži Nastevski replacing Zoran Markovski, who has a hamstring injury. The experienced Ivan Kilic faces his old club. The Knights will be relying heavily on the experience and strength of Andrew Marth in midfield and the pace of Tom Pondeljak on the right-hand side. DAMIANOS. Here's Trimboli off for DAMIANOS. Paul Trimboli, and the shot low was well covered by Digilisha. And a stony-faced Angie Postecoglou. Game opening up somewhat. Clarkson has Butsianis on the left, but ends up going fairly central to Trimboli, who chips for DAMIANOS. The header just tipped over. So the creative urges for South Melbourne floating to the top here. And it was a pretty good header in the end, dipping down. But a good side on that for Joe Digilisha. The corner for South Melbourne. And that is a free kick to the Melbourne Knights. The Lakers yet to break through. Marth. Pondeljak can be dangerous on the break. There's against another speedster in DAMIANOS, and it's coughed up to DAMIANOS, who's on the march, who's got options left and right. And in the end he goes for a shot. What a brilliant goal. Bill DAMIANOS, well, that was the last thing on the mind of Joe Digilisha. He had Trimboli breaking down the right, lifted the eyes, and this buried the shot past the Melbourne Knights goalkeeper. He's not noted as a goal scorer, Bill DAMIANOS, but he covered himself in glory there. And perhaps has added another dimension to his game. Streaming forward, he had Trimboli down the right. He hit the shot with great conviction, and it was brilliant. Top left-hand corner, and gave Joe Digilisha no chance whatsoever. Anastasiadis, touch on from Panopoulos, who's now got some space. Trimboli, here's Anastasiadis, turns on the right. Trimboli will play it square, low and square. Second effort by Paul Trimboli. DAMIANOS. And Butsianis, his shot cannoned into Andrew Marth. So it's all happening for South Melbourne. Trimboli just over the crossbar. The ball turned back by Anastasiadis in the path of his captain. And it was a frenetic piece of work by South Melbourne, to and fro in the penalty box. And Paul Trimboli had the chance to curl it around the goalkeeper and really polish off a good half for South Melbourne. South have the numbers. And Butsianis. A driving shot! And that is brilliant from Butsianis, but just as brilliant from Digilisha, tipping it over the bar. And that was a stinging shot from Butsianis, dipping late. And again, Joe Digilisha perhaps wasn't expecting that from long range. Greer. As Anastasiadis caught one across the ear. Here's a chance for Kilic. Caught flat-footed with a return ball from Marth. And it's turned wide. Diak. The flag stays down. As Ante Diak turns a long ball in. Marth, the header, and just taken the last minute there by Petkovic. But that was a very well-measured header there by the Melbourne Knights captain. Nice ball in from Diak, and unopposed and almost unsighted there was Michael Petkovic. And losing his footing, Nastevsky in the end plays the ball down the line. Turning in midfield there was Clarkson. Lovely ball from Damianos. Dave Clarkson, and shot from long range again, had to be tipped over by Digilisha. So South Melbourne quite prepared to execute the long range shots, and it really was an excellent effort there by Dave Clarkson. Curling to the top left hand corner. Clarkson, and there's players streaming down the right. One is Anastasiadis, who ends up with the ball now in the middle. Damianos, goal! What a brilliant second effort there from Bill Damianos. So South Melbourne stamp their authority on the derby in emphatic fashion. And it was a sweet move down the right. All set up by Anastasiadis. And quite uncharacteristically, Bill Damianos with 2 first-half goals. Clarkson played the ball through. The overlapping player was Anastasiadis. First time. And Damianos buried the shot. Unmarked was Anastasiadis. Bonini rushed in late, but too late. And South Melbourne go up 2-0. Again, the South Melbourne captain in the play. Well, in the regular season, 96-97. South drew with the Knights in the first derby at Lakeside as Steve Panopoulos comes off for South Melbourne. And coming on is the New Zealand international Vaughan Coveney. So a midfielder for a striker. Just wait on the positional change. Perhaps Trimboli playing just behind the 2 up front. That will be the change for South Melbourne. Here he is, Paul Trimboli, straight into the fray. He is Coveney. He goes down. And that is a penalty. No, the goal kick, says the referee. I was a bit too ambitious in my call. Was contact made? Well, make your own mind up. It looked like it well could have gone Vaughan Coveney's way with his first touch. But the referee saw it another way. The shot from Ivan Kilic, just wide. In the middle, the experienced striker just flicked it up and cracked the volley. But in the end, it was pretty well wide of the post. Good work nonetheless. DAMIANOS very rarely makes a mistake in the clearance from his area. Diak, South defence under a bit of pressure here. Jolic, centering ball. And a goal for South Melbourne. It is Tomislav Pondeljak who scores to peg back the margin. Well, there was 3 unmarked players in the box, and that would be a worry for Ange Postecoglou. And Ken Warden must feel his Chargers have some hope now, as Diak found an overlapping player in Jolic down the left, and you felt just here they were in with a chance. 2 players in the box, unmarked, one being Pondeljak, and he just cannoned the shot in the back of the net. So good build-up, ends up in a reward for the Melbourne Knights, as the volley was hit pretty sweetly by Pondeljak. And South for the first time under real pressure. Jolic, Marth on the counter-attack here is South Melbourne, and Gutsulis with his first incisive touch. Centering ball in, and Bernini off balance. Kersija, and the clearance away from the Knights defender. Diak touches it over for Kutlesovski. He turns, Kutlesovski, goal! He's equalised for the Melbourne Knights. Off the bench, Iche Kutlesovski has squared the ledger in the Melbourne derby. Quite unexpectedly. And this really has stunned the South Melbourne faithful. Ante Diak had a bobbling ball ahead of midfield, just played the ball over. Kutlesovski made a nice run. The flag stayed down, and he turned around Komblatzis and toe poked the ball through. So this has really put the cat amongst the pigeons now, because for 80% of the match, South Melbourne has dominated the play, but the Melbourne Knights have really showed their true fighting qualities, and they're on the march once again, almost as if South has stopped attacking. Here's Andrew Marth off the left-hand side and just drives the shot, but gets under it. Damianos after some nice work from Butsianis. DAMIANOS pushes up, finds his captain Trimboli, who chips to the far post. Kersija, and hits the bar. In fact, the frame of the goal. So a close call there for Michael Kersija. Close to full time. As Ransford Bernini is grimacing. And a lovely curling cross in from Paul Trimboli. Kersija was unmarked, and his header just glanced across there by Coveney, who helped it on to the post. But alas, it didn't find the back of the net for South Melbourne. The final touch was a glancing one from Vaughan Coveney. And that is full time here at Lakeside Stadium.